With campuses deserted nationwide, most colleges and universities are still deciding if they'll open for in-person classes this fall. Some are planning for the return of students, but many are putting off any final decisions until June or July. Harvard University tweeting Monday it will be open for fall 2020, but cannot be certain that we will be able to resume all usual activities on campus.
Every college would love to be open in the fall residentially because their operating budget revolves around and depends upon tuition revenue.
In an op-ed in the New York Times, Brown University's president said reopening campuses in the fall should be a national priority because if colleges stay shuttered, it's not a question of whether institutions will be forced to permanently close, it's how many. She says campuses will need rapid testing, ways to trace the spread, and isolate students who get sick. Purdue University's president saying they'll need huge changes if they reopen.
I know we're looking for ways to reduce the size of classes, obviously the distance, keeping distance between people, probably going to see masks as a requirement, at least for a long time here.
For high school seniors like Grace Jewell, it's a stressful time. She got into 3 music programs, including one in Boston, but because of coronavirus, she's leaning towards staying close to home in California.
There was no way I could leave where I am right now, just with the whole situation that's going on.
Her mom, Kelly, wonders if it's worth the cost if classes are virtual.
That's a big decision to spend a lot of money to do something online when maybe the experience isn't what you kind of had planned, you know?
A new study from the Art and Science Group finds nearly 20% of high school seniors who were planning to go to college will no longer enroll full-time at a 4-year institution. And 65% of the seniors surveyed are concerned they may not be able to attend their first-choice school, a quarter of those students saying their families may not be able to afford it. The number of students taking a gap year, a year away from school, is also on the rise.
A lot of students are still grappling with whether or not they want to attend college if it was virtual. My guess is that most would not want to if they had the choice, and they would wait.
That study found that 40% haven't even put down a deposit yet, and those folks are more likely to be students of color, lower income, or first-generation college students. Savannah?
Well, Kate, with all this uncertainty, are colleges doing anything to try to attract prospective students?
Yeah, they sure are. College admissions officers are offering a lot of perks right now to fill their fall classes. Savannah, the Washington Post found colleges giving not just free money, but money for campus parking, for prime dorm rooms, football tickets, early registration for the best classes. And the next class up, the high school juniors right now, there are no college visits, so they're doing everything virtual and online to try to make sure that kids apply in the fall. I should know, I have a high school junior, Savannah.
Oh, yeah. So it's personal for you. Okay, Kate. Thank you. Good information. Appreciate it.